You're on.
The United States has a huge weight problem. According to the CDC's overweightness and obesity database, only 26% of Americans ages 20 and up are normal weights. Normal weight being their BMI, their body mass index, is between 18.5% and 24.9%. A person's BMI or body mass index is their height and weight compared to how much fat they actually have on their body. With 26% of normal weight people, that leaves 33% of people who are overweight, meaning 25% of people through 29.9%, and then 33% of those who are obese, meaning their BMI is 30% to 49.9%. And then that leaves 8% of people who are extremely obese, meaning their BMI is above 50%. Half of their body is literal fat, and that's just the adults. Children ages 2 to 5, 20% of them are obese, not overweight, obese. Children ages 12 to 19 is almost 45% of them who are obese. So seeing this problem, I decided to shadow a physical therapist / physical trainer for my senior project. I did this now at the Alex W. Spears YMCA. I've been going there for about 7 years now. I knew the wellness director, Ms. Beth McKinney, very well. And when I heard about this project, I decided to ask her about what kind of hours I could do. And she set me up with Jeannie, one of the personal trainers out there. She's a great trainer. She's been doing this for about 4 years now. And she herself, at one point, was obese. And over the past 2 years, she's lost over 100 pounds and continues to lose weight. And because of her experience, she is an excellent example of how to lose weight, and she helps her clients in that area. So while I was shadowing Jeannie, we had different kinds of clients who came in. A lot of them were these main types, which were those who were repairing an injury, those who were losing weight, and those who were just trying to stay in shape. Everybody, we either did group exercises or individual exercises. With these two, we had either 1 or 2 people, which is the individual, and then we had groups of people, which is obviously the group exercises. So this man right here on the right, his name is Michael. He had a lower back injury, so he falls into the category of those who are repairing an injury. All clients, before they come to see us, they do about 30 minutes of cardio just to kind of get the blood flowing and their muscles warmed up. Once they come to us, we have a warm up and stretch. That way, when we do the exercises, you don't have any injuries, you don't have any long-term soreness, and just so we have all of our bases covered. Next, we do a light full body workout because, as well as his lower back hurting, he still wanted to stay in shape. And so we did everything from legs to arms to core to chest, everything. Here's an example of him doing wall sits with a 10-pound medicine ball, just to kind of work his legs and his lower back. And then we did isolated exercises. Isolated exercises are used for working in an isolated area to meet a specific goal. For him, his lower back hurt. That's because his core isn't very strong, and all his weight and pressure is on his lower back. So for isolated exercises, we worked his abs, his obliques, his lower back to strengthen that core and take the pressure off of his lower back. Next, we had those who were losing weight. These ladies right here, they were doing something that was called circuit training. We had about 5 exercises set up in a circle, and each exercise had something different. They would stay at each exercise for about 45 seconds or so. They would push themselves to that 45-second limit, and they would move on to the next exercise, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one. We do this time limit instead of reps, because if you have 12 reps left, 5 reps left, 2 reps left, you'll push yourself until you get to that point. If you do a time limit, you'll push yourself until your absolute max. So of course, before they did any of that, we did 30 minutes of cardio to warm them up. Next we did a warm up and stretch, just so we didn't have any injuries. And then we did full body cardio. The three of the exercises we had there were mainly cardio, movemental works that used a lot of intense cardio. Here's an example right there on the right. That one was using battle ropes, where you get in a squatting position and you flail the ropes, alternating, or you can do consistently, just to get your heart rate up and also work those muscles. And then we have full body weights. The other 2 exercises included weights. That's an example on the left. On the left there, we have a platform and we had a kettlebell, just to work your legs and their shoulders with the kettlebell and the squat. And then we did isolated cardio and weights. So for the last 30 minutes of their routine, we did isolated cardio and weights, giving them the opportunity to use the equipment and the group we had there with us to work on whatever specific needs they had. Maybe their knees hurt that day, or their lower back, they had a kink in their neck. We gave them the opportunity to work on that. And then we had those who were staying in shape. Now this is an example of somebody who was staying in shape. This is my good friend Ian. He's been coming out there longer than I have been. He's a young adult now, I believe he's 20 or so. He was homeschooled because he has mild autism, but he does a lot of cross country as far as races outside of the classroom, like the 5Ks you might see advertised in the lobby at the YMCA. And so it's really nice to work with him because I knew him and I could push him to that limit rather a lot more than I could with those who I didn't exactly know. And so, of course, 30 minutes of cardio. I believe he did treadmill that day. Warm up and stretch, and then we did intense cardio because of his love for cross country and running. He wanted to keep that stamina up, and so we did a lot of intense cardio. The track outside of the YMCA, if you do 4 laps around it, that equals a mile. And so we would do 4 400s, which 400 is 1 lap around. We would do 4 800s and then 4 miles, just to get that intensity up throughout each distance. Next, we did full body weights because, being a young man, he wants to be big. And so here's an example of what we have there. He's doing the incline bench press, working his upper pectoral muscles, his chest muscles, to kind of build that shelf. And then lastly, we did a cardio cool down and calisthenics. Now, we do the cool down because when you have an intense high, if you have an intense low, whereas you just stop working, then your body will experience stuff like intense soreness and fatigue, and sometimes even damage with the muscles or joints or tendons. And so what we do with the cool down is to kind of relax your body to gradually bring it down from that high to the low. And then calisthenics is just a fancy word for body weight workouts. Things like pull-ups, push-ups, dips, workouts that only use your body weight, not extra free weights. Difficulties with shadowing. Some of the clients were uncooperative. They didn't want to do an exercise. They said they were sore. They said they were tired. And so I had to work with that. But everywhere you go, you have those kind of clients. You have those difficulties, so we worked through them. Another one was those who had pains and injuries. Every client had their own specific goal, and I wanted to push them to the limit so they could reach that goal as soon as possible. Well, sometimes life gets in the way, like maybe your knees hurt, your lower back hurts, or you have a kink in your neck. Something's wrong that day, and so I couldn't push them to that limit. But especially after my first day of working with Jeannie, I realized that people have their own problems and life happens, so I needed to work around that as far as pushing them. Moving on to my research paper, I did my research paper on the ketogenic diet, and it compared to other diets such as calorie counting. The ketogenic diet, also known as the keto diet, is a diet that takes out all carbohydrates from what you eat. Now, carbohydrates are foods such as breads, pastas, starches, potatoes. The carbohydrates are your main source of energy in your body. They're long-lasting energy. If you see the cross-country, the track team here at the high school, the night before a meet, they'll have a pasta dinner because that energy they get from the pasta, the carbohydrates, they'll use that energy all throughout the race the next day because it's long-lasting energy. It's also the main source of energy in your body. So when you take that out, computer.
Sorry, I can't connect to your Wi-Fi network.
Oh well. When you take carbohydrates out of your diet, your body goes into a state called ketosis, which is the same process as when you are in starvation. So when you eat in the keto diet, you eat a lot of fatty foods, things like butter, oils, bacon, foods that normally wouldn't be healthy in a regular diet. Because you've cut out carbohydrates, your body needs an alternative energy source, fatty foods. With fats, they burn very quickly, and so you're not actually starving in ketosis because you have the fatty foods in your body, but your body still needs that energy. So it'll go to the fat it has stored up, and so the keto diet quickly burns off that fat. Those who have done the keto diet, they've seen increased energy, enhanced mental focus because before it was used for weight loss, the keto diet was used for those who had epilepsy to calm mental activity, to reduce seizures, and also, of course, weight loss. A real-life example is my dad, Eric Wilkie. This past summer, he reached his max weight of 320 pounds, and so he realized that he really needed to change his diet and his exercise. And so over the past 5 months, he's done the ketogenic diet, and he's lost 85 pounds. Here's a before and after photo. He didn't want to make it public as far as his weight before and after, so he never had an official photo. But when I asked him if I could use him as an example, he said, "Of course, find the funniest photo you can." And so I did. We have him in the lazy river at Adventureland Water Park this past summer at his max weight, 320 pounds. And then we have him this past month at his weight now. He did this diet. He said he's never felt better. A lot more focused, a lot more energy, and his wife Heidi did the diet as well, and she's seen the same results. So what's the point of all this? Well, next year I plan to attend UNCG for a 4-year degree in kinesiology. I plan to do this so I can be a physical therapist and own my own gym, so I can help people reach their goals in my own facility. What I learned is how to lead people to meet their goals, not boss them around and tell them to do this, that, and the other, but to know what their goals are and show them how to do these exercises and lead them. And also what goals require what steps. If one of the ladies I was working with circuit training wants to lose weight, I'm not going to have her do a 300-pound bench press. That's not adequate for her goals. I'm going to have her do some cardio, eat less carbs, portion. Each goal has its own set of steps. I would like to thank my mentor, Miss Beth McKinney, my physical trainer and friend, Jeannie, my faculty advisor, Miss Whitener, my English teacher, Miss Knight, and the panel of judges here today. Are there any